Some Nigerian pastors use church pulpits to instigate congregation against Buhari, says Femi Adesina. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel. Being a steps from Inside the Column by Femi Adesina with the title, This Kumuyi is Different. Now the news in detail. What we rather see is the pulpit being turned to a soapbox, where hatred is preached, where fake news is spread week after week, and where congregants are instigated against the leadership of this country. And I know what I am saying. I used to attend a church in Abuja from 2015 to 2018 till the pastor began to see himself as someone who must bring the Buhari's government down. Sunday after Sunday, it was all sort of criticism from the pulpit. But I endured since it was a branch of a church I'd attended over 30 years. Till one day he overdid the Dapchi girls we abducted, and there was no name the pastor did not call President Buhari. That Sunday, it was horrendous, but such things could come from the pulpit. But I suffered long and sat through the sermon. Till one day he overdid it. The Dapchi girls were abducted, and there was no name the pastor did not call President Buhari that Sunday. It was horrendous that such things would come from the pulpit. But I suffered long and sat through the sermon, or rather, what was supposed to be a sermon. I then went on wondering what the Church of God was turning to. If you recall, the Dapchi girls were recovered within a week, except for Leah Shaibu and a few others. Awful, quite sad. But still there was cause for no one to be thankful to God. But still there was cause for one to be thankful to God. So the following Sunday, I went to that church, waiting to hear what the pastor would say, having excoriated and flagellated the government so badly the week before. I was dazed, nay, stoned. Throughout the sermon, not a word, not even a whisper about the recovered Dapchi girls. Bad faith. If you're a genuine believer in Christ, you would not hate your neighbor, nor do disdain those in power. Pastor Kumuyi also said if you're a true believer in Christ, you would not go on rampage, destroying government property. But that was not what we saw in the country in October last year. The country was almost burned down under the sabotage of NSAS. And sadly, they were encouraged by pastors and preachers who simply hate the fact that a Fulani man is their president. Many of them are on record as having encouraged the protesters till things went ugly, turned awry, and the pastors vanished into thin air. Not a word of caution or restraint as the city were burning and policemen were being killed and even eaten up. If you are a genuine believer in Christ, you would not go on the rampage, destroying government property. Irrespective of the titles they bear, I hear bishops, apostles, prophets, pastors, evangelists cursing the government and issuing doomsday notices. One even said publicly that Buhari administration was over before the 2019 elections. But the man won handsomely, and that preacher still struts and frets on the pulpit every week, not repenting in sackcloth and ashes. If you're a genuine believer in Christ, you will not hate your neighbor, nor will you disdain those in power. Thank you, Pastor Kumuyi. Without sitting in judgment over anybody, I just believe that majority of our preachers need to be born again. If what we hear them preach and teach is anything to go by, they need to be born again. Otherwise, heaven seems to be very far away. May God help us all. Oh my goodness. The thing is, oh my goodness. The thing is, saying that because you hear from one particular pastor now, you're generalizing to what is happening, then that means you are wrong. That means you are not in any way different from these people now. That is just it. For you to come because that particular church you attend is, was doing this continuously. And I do not understand how this particular administration does not understand that criticisms will always come with every government. The late Yaradua had criticisms. The late Jonathan, the Jonathan administration had criticisms. Now this one, there is no government that will assume power and will not be criticized. As a human being, you are just a human being and you are on your own. You're trying to make a living the legal way possible and you are minding your business. People will still criticize you. Not to talk of when you are now given a position, the criticism will increase. Not to talk when you're leading more than 10 million people and you are saying they should stop. Uncle, face your work. Sincerely, face your work. This energy you are using to say people should stop, can you channel it to the right source and tell or suggest, make useful suggestions to this your administration on how to go about the insecurity that is rampaging the whole Nigeria? Yes. You're writing, you're channeling your energy to the wrong source. That is just it. People are instigating what? If the government has not given them the foundations to say these things, will they have? Tell me, if Nigeria was going fine, I am saying again, if there is no insecurity in the land, the economic is stable at least, and prices of things do not go, it is not outrageous on a daily basis. Today, you buy a thing for 1 naira, you're going back, you're buying it for 7 naira. And you say people should not talk. Of course, they will talk. What is the thing that is making these things happen? Number one issue is the insecurity. And then you're saying people should not talk. It is not possible. The same way people spread good news is the same way when bad news comes, they're going to spread it. That is just it. And unfortunately, in human nature, bad news spreads like wildfire. That is just it. It is human nature coming to say, oh, this and that, giving advices. You as a person, please channel this particular energy. It will be better if you channel it to, suggest make meaningful suggestions to this administration that look what can be done to ensure that this insecurity is curbed and it does not spread. And you suggest also and make this particular administration, maybe if you suggest it to them yourself, they'll listen to you. That the Southeast region now that the government is using force on they shouldn't use force on this particular region. That what these people need is negotiation and dialogue. That is what will calm the agitations going on there. And